Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Nightly video for an earnings-filled 9th of December here in 2021. We'll start with a big view of Costco. Now, we're looking at the end of session. You may know more because the video will be out earlier, shortly after the market close, but if you watch the video later, you'll know what the actual performance is. And of course, we're going to be noting these levels and updates for pre-market Friday. Let's start with earnings in Costco. Because the videos are short, I don't go inside what the fundamentals are. If you are ever curious about looking at what the fundamentals are for any particular company we'll discuss, or any earnings play, butterfly or premium sell or premium purchase, vertical spreads, etc., whatever position you have, you can look inside the fundamentals tab. And that's going to be on the analyze. Type in the name of the stock you want to look at. And from there, you get all the information that you might need. That's here in thinkorswim. But we're interested right now in tonight's video about the earnings. So the earnings tab is here. You can take a look at where the earnings were, what the front month straddle, and different pricing structures, and how the volatility plays. Implied volatility is most important here. And of course, whether or not the company beat the expectations or not. Starting with Costco, this is our TheoTrade expected move. And what we're looking at for the earnings-based play, starting the attention here, which is about, roughly speaking, about 548 on the upside play, possibly 500 or just about 497 to the downside. And that's based on current option implied volatility, and of course looking at front month straddles. That being said, if Costco is trading up under these levels on Friday, that could be, number one, a target to play for on the upside. In other words, if we're not at these prices on Friday morning, that could be a movement up to this 546, 550. If instead we see Friday morning with this continuation of the upside, we might want to take a short or a sell position as the price gets into that level. That's forward thinking. That's trade sets up on Friday. But what about today? What if you have positions on? Perhaps a butterfly to the upside, perhaps a butterfly to the downside in Costco. This is the spread. The earnings have been released. Again, you can take a look at those after hours. What the EPS, the earnings per share, and it was about 298. And of course, what the post-market, which is right here after the close, this is Pacific time, after 1 o'clock, what the share prices are doing. So for the moment, Costco closed at about the 522, which is right here. But we're seeing it trade to 534, which is right about here. So there's still a little more room to go, potentially to the upside, or right back to unchanged on the session. Earnings are volatile plays, and they require a little bit more attention, a little bit more experience, and a little more risk-averse techniques, or I should say risk mitigation techniques. On the other hand, we have Lululemon. Now, that one is a volatile stock. Again, you can take a look at the Analyze tab and see it's pretty in line with estimates most of the time. And what happened in the prior earnings updates? Of course, we have the fundamentals. If you're ever curious about what Lululemon is, maybe what some of the analysts recommend, if you want to hold this maybe longer term or have a more duration trade than just the earnings, or if you feel this is a good chance to get into a new position. So Lulu has its expected move or its earnings-based play, and I was looking at this earlier in the chat room. That implied volatility is 165%. That's for Friday. That's for the Friday. That's tomorrow. Earnings expiration cycle or options expiration right there. Lots of activity. And of course, we have our sizzle index of 5. That means it's roughly 5 times the average of the last 5 sessions. We'd expect that. That's because we have earnings. Earnings can generate a lot of hedging or putting on new positions or taking off positions. Earnings tend to be a catalyst for lots and lots of options to trade hands. So that's where we are. That's our implied volatility on Lulu. Where is its expected move? Roughly speaking, it is going to be about 458, just say 460 for a quick level, and about 375 to the downside. What's happening right now with Lululemon shares? They closed about 418, 417, and that's where we're trading at the time of this video, which means despite that expected move and despite that volatility, traders who chose, at this moment at least, to sell a premium outside this upper bound, sell the calls, sell the puts, whatever technique that was the strategy. That seems to be the winning strategy at the moment, at least with the outcome we have now. A couple others. We'll take a look at Oracle. And Oracle's getting a big move. And that's just a continued uptrend here on the daily chart. The expected move, again, taking a look at the options, that as well has a 120% implied volatility for the Friday expiration cycle. That's coming up tomorrow. And we'll open that back up and just close that, looking at the sizzle, 3.5. That is the shares on Oracle. And we're looking at the Analyze tab. Of course, there's your fundamentals. There's the data. These are the data. And of course, these are the information statistics on Oracle. And the earnings page has a history. That yellow line means it beats the street, or I should say the actual reported earnings per share. And the green line is the Wall Street consensus estimates. If it's above, it beats the street, beats estimates. But if it's beneath, hasn't happened a lot, it's actually beneath the earnings estimates. So nevertheless, again, not enough time to dig into the earnings report just in the short video, so we can hit a lot of names and opportunities, but same type of logic. Now this one's going to be fun. This expected move, this one got it right. The option market, in this case, the volatility statistics in play, had it right on, at least at the time of the video. Because at the close, the implied volatility suggested an up or down move. We'll take a look at that one more time, of about $6 or so, $5.75. What's happened? That put the line up here. So 88 plus about that expected move takes us to about 95. So that is before the earnings take place. Again, that takes us up or down. Add or subtract the expected move. And we're right on. As Don would say, we are in the ballpark. We're right there. 94.5 cents. So that is $94.50. That is where we are, and that's where we potentially could open up on Friday's session. Nevertheless, if you are trading Oracle or have positions, that is your level to write down from tonight's video and make a reference of in Friday's session. That's hitting it straight to the park, right down the middle. And that is the expected move and the power of those option statistics. And of course, the technique, the trade setup would be a butterfly for the most part. Outside of the earnings play, and there's a lot to go over, there's others. And one more stock we look at just quickly on these, Broadcom, AVGO. It is getting its expected move. That's a relatively high price stock. Its expected move, again, stepping inside the option tab, 87%, $28 up or down. And that plays into right here, about $38 actually. Takes us 613, and we're right there. Again, in the ballpark, in field play. That expected move takes us to about 613, 615. That's right where Broadcom trades at this time of the video. Again, that'll be a reference level for Friday morning and the rest of the trading session. And we'll finish up with Chewy. We've had upside beats. We've had the market push to the upside in just about every stock that I've looked at, and I'm looking at market cap. But Chewy is one that is not. Chewy is downtrending, CHWY. And we have the market down to 56, option-based expected move. That's 320%, $9. And where is that expected move? Where does that take that $9 play? Right about to here, actually 46.47. And that is just about, not quite, but just about where we had the after hours earnings per share. Looks like they missed. And well, I say they missed, but the earnings estimate, you can see at the bottom right here, earnings estimate is about 0.4 cents, and they actually hit actual at 0.08. Getting deep in the weeds there, but nonetheless, they missed to the downside. And in so doing, their stock at the moment is selling off. So that's the broad picture on Broadcom. The broad picture here in the earnings play, just a few of them. And as we go into the 10th of December, Friday, we're going to have option expiration. Of course, we're going to have futures rollover. It could be a volatile session. But in focus are these earning plays and these stocks and others that are reporting earnings. That would include Hormel, lots of others in the list. Not big market cap names. We covered the big market cap names, but there are other stocks reporting earnings, and you might want to take a look at those if you have positions on in some of those smaller cap market stock names. As always, be careful and safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with tonight's Theo video update for December 9th, 2021.